Hey guys, it's Dawn here, and today I'm going to talk about amplifying the sound with your kalimba. Not amplifying for recording, although it'll certainly work with that. Just amplifying the sound in general. I have a couple acoustic amplifiers and also an electric amplifier, and I'm going to go over doing that with piezo pickups. Got piezo pickups and with a lavalier microphone, which is my actual favorite way to do it, and I'll explain all the ins and outs and whys. All right, so to get started, picking out an amp. Now I have a larger guitar amp, but when I plugged that in, it didn't work well. There was a lot of feedback and stuff. It needs the biggest thing is that the kalimba only generates a very, very slight electrical signal. So if you want to send it to something else, you kind of need to have it be amplified. You can't just connect a piezo pickup directly from the kalimba. You can't just stick a piezo to the kalimba and then plug it into a speaker. You need to have an actual amplifier or a headphone amp. That's a little one. I don't have one of those, or something like that. But this way will work with this type of amp. So the amp that I got, there are tons of reviews on different types of mini amps. I got this one, which is the Nook's Mighty Light. And the reason why I liked it is it can take batteries, which I've never used because I always plug it in, or you can plug it in directly, and this is the way that I wanted to use mine. I like the option, but I definitely wanted to be able to plug it in all the time. Otherwise, a lot of these mini amps only has the battery option, does not come with this option. So that was a big deciding factor for me. It has a lot of different options that you can play around with. To me, that is not that important because what I'm looking for is just to amplify the sound, and just amplify the sound, but still have it sounding acoustic. A lot of times when you electrify the signal, it sounds electrified. I wanted it to still maintain the deep, rich, clean tones of acoustic as much as possible. So that was what I was looking for, and this one fit the bill, and it has lots of different options. I'm not going to go over all of this because this isn't a review about this amp, although I am very happy with this purchase. Would I love to explore more? Absolutely, but I don't have the money for that. This amp on its own was about $100 to spend on just the amp. And then you figure a lot of kalimba users, you know, they're like in the $20 range, and so if you have a $20 kalimba and then you're looking to buy a $100 amp to go with it, plus all of the other, you know, it kind of adds up. But my both kalimbas are a little more than $20, so it is a good match. But all right, so the amp is there. You need some kind of amp. You can't just use a speaker. Or, you know, thinking, oh, I got this little Bluetooth speaker, I can just plug that straight in. Probably won't work unless if you also get a headphone amplifier. Let's see, X-Vive makes one, Vox makes one, something like that. And they're about 20 some dollars up to 50 and plus. All right, so those can get pricey too, but you can find them for about 20 bucks. All right, so the first thing, here is the sound without anything. Or I should say that's the volume, okay? That's a volume about at this distance and all that. Then I created my acoustic amplifier, which is just a wooden box that I made, and I cut out a hole. I may make this hole bigger eventually, and that's why I was playing around. This is my experiment, and I have another video all about this experiment. But here it is with this acoustic amplifier. Because remember, I wanted to maintain the acoustic sound. Hear this difference in the volume? All right, now I also got this Gecko cajon drum. I don't know how you say it. It's just a simple percussion instrument. Let's see. Okay, so I was curious if I could just buy a percussion drum and have it act like my acoustic thingy, if it's something that you can just purchase and you don't have to worry about making your own. It is much larger than the one that I made, and it's about 50 bucks for this one, and they come in different sizes too. So I got this size, and oh, this is upside down because on the, all right, I guess I'll have to show you. On the top side, this is the top side, there are strings in here, and those strings vibrate unfavorably with the kalimba. You hear that? That's actually the strings inside the percussion drum. And different places where I put it, then it's going to resonate differently. But I can avoid all that by using the back side. The back side does not have strings on the inside of it, and the string it doesn't bother. So it's like this. Back to the one that I made. So I think that the bigger one definitely has the volume, has more volume. The bigger it is, the more volume. This one has a little bit more timbre, a little bit more bass, a little bit more deeper resonance that I like. The shape might also make a difference, but there you go. Okay, so now to electrify the signal. One of the most common ones is to use a piezo pickup. This is one that came with my Lingtings, and this works great. It has one head on it. Works great. But I did get this one with 3 heads. It says Rango on it, and this one sounds even better, and this has the option to be used, you know, just like this, or to be permanently mounted. And I was actually playing with the idea of putting this into my acoustic amplifier, this box here, and the 3 head is a little much to use on a kalimba, right? But it would be great to mount this permanently in this box, and I think that 3 head sounds better. And then there's talk about having different size piezos picking up different tones and stuff, so having a combination really enhances and all that stuff. So there is a lot of talk about that kind of stuff, but I'm not going to get not going that far, we're not delving that far into it. So then there's that. And then another one, and this is my favorite one, is to just use a little microphone. This is a lavalier microphone with some blue tack stuck on it. But it's just a lavalier, you know, this is something that you clip onto your shirt collar or something like that, and you speak into. Sometimes I have a big fluffy ball on it. I just remove the fluffy ball, and that. So the advantages and disadvantages, a piezo pickup will pick up all the vibrations, which makes it excellent if there's a lot of outside noises. So other people talking, dogs barking, roosters crowing, all of that stuff, it will not pick up any outside noises. It has to directly be touching, and it picks up vibrations only. The disadvantage to that is that it picks up all the vibrations. So if I stick this onto this box, any little tap and stuff, it is picking up. Any little weird vibrations, it is picking all of that up. It is extremely sensitive. That may be a good thing if you stick this to your kalimba and you also tap to the kalimba with a rhythm and you want it to pick that up. But if you don't want it to pick it up, it's picking it up. So that it's really easy. It usually comes with a double-sided sticky tape. I have since removed that and just replaced with the nano tape, because the nano tape is something that I can stick and move around everywhere. And that's the other thing. You know, it's with the 3M sticky tape, it could be semi-permanent or a pain in the butt to move around. With the 3M tape, it's a little bit easier to move around, but you know, you do have to replace the tape eventually. All right, so there is that. Now, what I like about this lavalier microphone is that the sound that is coming from vibrations is different than the sound coming up into the air. And the sound coming up into the air is the sound that my ear is hearing. And so having the microphone pick up the sound, it is actually truer to the sound that I normally hear, just louder, and I like that. It also tends to pick up the resonance. I think it picks up the resonance a little truer and cleaner, and you don't have any of the annoying things with the, you know, it picking up all the vibrations. None of that. It is just going to pick up the sounds that you hear, but it may also pick up other sounds if you're worried about recording. So that's why this one may not be so good for recording, but for pure sound quality coming out, I really like this. Plus, I have it attached to this wireless unit. And so the wireless unit is good because it actually acts as an electrical amplifier. So you don't need to get a headphone amp if you have this. And then this will plug directly in. So we'll go into that later. All right, so for the electrical signals, there's so many different options when it comes to electrifying the signal. Let's see, how do I want to do this? I will plug you into here, and you into here, and you. Now, the other nice thing about this is you can choose where you want to stick it, and where you place this will actually make a difference in how it sounds. So you can play around with it. Well, I've discovered that my favorite places is to stick it right here. Or actually my favorite place is to stick it on the back. Right about there, a little bit below center, but centered this way. And that way this is open, because otherwise it can tap. All right, let's turn this on. All right, so even before I do anything, and oh, the other thing is sometimes it doesn't get too good of a signal and it might not work for you. If that happens, try pressing down on it. It really needs to have a good connection to pick up all the signals. So you can try pressing. Sometimes I press and I hold it, which is a little annoying that I would even have to do that, but think I have some reverb on. I'm just going to adjust my amp a little bit. And of course you can play around with the volume and all that, right? All right, so how am I going to do this? I think I'm just going to see. Oops. I'm going to turn you off before I start getting some crazy feedback here. All right, now we're going to do... Okay, so I turned this on, the blue light is on, and I'm plugging that into my amp. And then this piece is going to stay here with me. And I just have this microphone. I can attach it here. I like to attach it down here. It has really good sound. But also up here works very nicely as well. And it is just blue tack, but it's a generic cheapo blue tack, so it's green. And I have it just pointed downward a little bit. It's not that picky. But I just do that with it. Okay, and this is the blue tack, makes it really easy to mold and all that, and it's totally reusable and it's cheap. This is without anything. Okay, so now another option is, instead of sticking it onto the kalimba itself, you stick it onto the acoustic box. And I like this option a lot because it adds a whole nother tone to it, and it's even louder. So here we go. What I have connected now is my a single piezo pickup to here and into my amp. Oh, here's how it sounds with nothing. And I'll do that with the Gecko. Sounds great. And then you don't have to worry about taking this on and off and having wires attached to your kalimba and all of that stuff, which is why I got this. because I was like, you know what? I love that idea so much. What if I permanently mount a 3-head pickup into this and then just plug into there, and that'll be nice and easy. Okay, and now for even another option is to use the lavalier microphone and have that be wirelessly connected to the amp, and use the acoustic amplifier as well, but the acoustic amplifier isn't electrified, it is just acoustic. So here it is with just the lavalier microphone. Or on the big one. So there you go, all the different sounds that I'm getting out of this with all of the different combinations that I've shown you here. Each of them has their pros and cons, so it's really hard to say. One of the things that I actually just love doing is this exactly, just putting it on different things, playing a tune here, changing it up, playing a tune here, and all that. They all sound great. It's just like little minute things in the sound that you can change up, and I love that. You know, different ones have different pros and cons, but all of them are definitely doable. So there you go. I hope this helps you make your own decision. If there are any other questions, go ahead and let me know. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.